everyone, I'm Anthony Quinn. I'm the founder and CEO of Arctic Intelligence, and today I'm joined by Michael Lukman, who's the founder and managing director of Gen Advisory, one of our partners based in Sydney. Today we're going to be talking about all things RegTech, and in particular the impact that RegTech has on Australian ADIs. So hi Michael, thanks for taking the time to chat with me today.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Anthony.
So RegTech obviously has got quite a lot of different meanings to different people, but from your perspective, what does it mean to you and why is it important?
Right. Well, to me, RegTech is formally defined as the use of technologies to automate regulation and compliance related matters. So, and that's important to my firm and I because our view is that RegTech has a potential to reshape Australia's ADI sector for the better.
And obviously, over the last 18 months or so, we've seen quite a development in terms of the ecosystem from regulators and private sector firms really supporting the adoption of RegTech. So what sort of benefit do you think that ADIs and also RegTech firms themselves can benefit from that RegTech ecosystem?
Right. Well, first of all, you are correct in saying that the ecosystem has been very supportive of RegTech as a whole. We know that ASIC has been very supportive of RegTech innovations, and we see that as a positive. The benefit that I see RegTech as providing to ADIs of all sizes, both large and small, is that it allows ADIs to automate their compliance and regulatory procedures so that the risk and compliance staff can focus on more value adding and strategic matters.
So obviously, Gen Advisory focuses quite heavily on RegTech, and I know that you're a newly founded kind of business. I just wanted to kind of understand some of the reasons why that led you to set your business up around the RegTech space in particular.
Right. The reason Gen Advisory decided to choose RegTech as our key focus areas is the fact that very early on in the formation of my company, my team and I recognized the value and the potential that RegTech brings. Our view right from the beginning is that RegTech has a lot to offer for Australian ADIs and also increasingly the Australian fintech sector. For that reason, my team and I decided very early on to become members of the RegTech Association, like Arctic Intelligence is, and to be a bit of an advocate for RegTech promotion and in Australia.
And we're obviously huge advocates of the RegTech Association and just been blown away to be part of that. Like we were actually two of the founding 8 members, and obviously that infrastructure has really provided kind of a lot of benefits. It's finally got a voice as a particular topic. So what kind of benefits do you think that RegTech can bring overall to to regulators, to professional services firms like yourselves, or to the regulated businesses that you represent?
For both sorts of firms, RegTech allows these firms, regulatory and compliance staff, to focus on more strategic matters. They eliminate the risk of human errors and manual entry errors. And for the smaller fintechs in particular that have growth ambitions, RegTech gives them the opportunity to scale much faster.
Sure, and I guess from an Arctic intelligence perspective, obviously, we've been around for a few years, and it's taken us, quite a few years to get the hundreds of clients that we have across different industry sectors, and that's presented us as a RegTech firm with a lot of challenges. But also the regulated businesses themselves have challenges in kind of overcoming and adopting regulatory technology. I just wondered, from your perspective, what do you see as the biggest challenge that the ADIs face when looking at RegTech and whether they should adopt that within their businesses?
In my view, and based on the conversations I've had so far, the biggest obstacle to ADIs adopting RegTech to date is, first and foremost, a bit of a lack of understanding about RegTech itself. there's often, uh, it seems, a bit of a misconception about RegTech. There's a misconception that RegTech is somehow related to fintech or a subset of fintech.
Mm.
So that is one obstacle, and I believe therefore education and support would be one way of overcoming that obstacle.
Because we see that a lot, and you spend a lot of time explaining, the things that you don't do just as much as the things that you do in terms of that value chain. So I definitely think that there's a lot more industry awareness that can be brought about, not only about the different types of RegTech, but the features and benefits that organisations can have. So it's good to hear you say that. So, I mean, obviously with the hurdles, they're not insurmountable. But obviously they do need to be overcome. So I just wondered, when you're giving advice to your clients, how do you frame up the conversation in terms of the benefits of adopting RegTech, and how that they individually can overcome those hurdles?
Right. The way Gen Advisory is attempting to overcome these hurdles is, well, first and foremost, as you're aware, Anthony, both Gen Advisory and Arctic Intelligence are shortly due to issue a joint paper, a joint report on the benefits, on the different types of RegTech available, first and foremost, and secondly, how they can benefit the ADI sector. So my view is, um, reports and papers like this and educational tools such as this will go a long way in overcoming some of the obstacles that I've just talked about. In response to your broader question as to how Gen Advisory overcomes, uh, how we educate our ADI clients, it's often through, I find that a live demonstration of RegTech in practice, can go a long way towards enhancing this understanding. And that's where I think your firm can play a key role. Just getting your products out there and demonstrating in practice, how it works in practice.
So we touched on a couple of the obstacles from adoption of RegTech. I just wanted to kind of unpack that a bit more in terms of, what are you seeing as some of the obstacles that regulated entities have in adopting RegTech, and what kind of processes are they following to try and overcome them within their own organisations?
All right. The biggest obstacle, based on our research and conversations today among ADIs, is the fact that there is still a general lack of understanding as to what RegTech means exactly. As you are aware, Anthony, there's a wide array of different types of RegTech available. And for some of the ADIs, particularly the smaller ones, this wide array can be confusing. So what Gen Advisory tries to do to overcome such obstacles is to have a detailed conversation with with our client ADIs, understand exactly what their RegTech needs are, and then partner with trusted RegTech providers such as yourselves, Arctic Intelligence.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And with obviously there's a few misconceptions around regulatory technology, but I just wondered, in terms of widening that understanding and encouraging that adoption, what are some of the misconceptions that you're seeing out there?
One of the biggest misconceptions by regulated entities that I've observed so far is the fact that RegTech will somehow make their risk and compliance staff redundant. There's a fear that RegTech will replace the jobs of many risk and compliance professionals. Our observation is that the reverse is true. RegTech is meant to augment, not replace, risk and compliance staff. It is designed to help risk and compliance staff do their jobs more easily, not replace them.
In Australia and worldwide, there's thousands of regulated entities, and a subset of those regulated entities are really financial technology or fintech firms. And we've seen a real explosion in terms of online payments, buy now, pay later, online FX and remittance businesses, peer-to-peer lenders and neobanks and so on. So the question that I've got is really, what value do you think that the regtech firms have that can provide those to those new and emerging fintech firms?
So first of all, your observation is correct, Anthony. The fintech sector in Australia and internationally has been growing exponentially. And our observation is that a lot of these fintech firms often are not entirely certain about what their responsible lending and AML CTF obligations are. Our view is that RegTech innovations would allow such fintechs to comply with the responsible lending and AML CTF obligations and therefore scale much more quickly than they did before.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think where we see our clients getting the most benefit out of adopting our technology is where they're using technology in consultation with, their own advisory or
Correct.
own industry professional experience. That, in our view, gets the best results. So just before we wrap up, Michael, is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
Well, yes. What I'd like to share with the audience is that Gen Advisory and Arctic Intelligence will shortly be issuing two joint reports, both relating to RegTech. The first report being the benefits of RegTech to Australian ADIs in general, and the second report is looking at more financial crime risk management, more specifically, and how it can benefit uh, Australian businesses and Australian society. So stay tuned for those two joint reports.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.